Hey everybody, this is Jinkson. I'm doing a commentary track for my first successful run of the CDDA challenge. This is probably my 25th attempt. I tried it for the first time the day that I recorded this, and this is the last thing that I recorded. So I'm just going to hang out with you while we watch this and talk about what's going on. Alright, so right away the first few seconds are pretty crucial. We're going to grab some food and a can opener. That's going to get us through our nutritional needs for the first night. Going to head over here, checking the bookshelf, grabbing a book because that's going to counteract the negative mood bonus of the dog food. Nothing else really worth grabbing, but we're going to grab these curtains. Going to pull both of them down. We're going to rip them into sheets because we've got glass lodged in our groin still. Let's get those out with our hand. And I'll put those ripped sheets on. Alright, we are just about ready to head outside. I'm trying to eat this dog food here, but there's a flaming zombie who's wandered in from nowhere, so we're just going to hop outside. Now, normally here I would run down to the garbage can and see if maybe I could find a garbage bag in there to put in my hand, help carry things around. But after 24 failed tries, I feel like that's a little ambitious. So what I'm looking for here is just some clothing. Some shoes in particular. And we've got one zombie pulled. Alright, there's another zombie coming in from the bottom of the map. So I'm just going to do a quick loot all here. I don't have time to really go through exactly what I'm picking up at the moment. I just know that I need that stuff, so. And we've got 4 coming in from the right side. So I'm going to see if I can dip and dodge around this house. We've got one zombie by itself, so I'm trying to push it a little bit, see if I can take it down. Then I get the attention of another zombie. And here I decide it's not really worth it. Not sure what was going through my mind at this point. I saw a fence and I figured maybe I could hop back and forth along it, disrupt a lot of pathfinding or whatnot, but I didn't really accomplish much for the next couple of minutes here. Mainly just panic and trying to avert pathfinding. Now here's where I realize that I've really made a mistake. I come around on this church. There's even more zombies. I know that anywhere that I go at this point, there's just going to be more zombies. So there's no safe place. Let's start putting on some clothes, if we can, with the precious few seconds we have in between getting around the back of this house and running along further. I'm going to hop over this fence, try to put some socks on. And the sneakers, which is really what I was hanging out for. Now that's the last time that I'm going to be able to put any clothes on for a second. We're going to work on keeping these bandages clean as best as we can. We're going to be bleeding out as long as this deep wound is not sutured. But there's not really a whole lot we can do right now. We have the attention of every zombie in a wide radius. So what we're going to see for a while here is the flaming conga. The thing about zombies is that they cannot go faster than your normal walk animation. See how he just did that little lunge there? He tried and failed to get me. And even if they're a little bit faster than you, they will still fail that lunge as long as they're not much faster than you. The only circumstances where they would really get you is if you're crouched, if you are aiming with your right mouse click, or if you've turned too much in too short of a time span. So you'll notice that whenever I turn here, I will either quickly correct or I will hold that walking position for about 2 to 3 seconds before I turn further. So we're just bringing this little conga line down to town. We have a fire on our hands, so why not get everybody's attention and clear the whole area out. Now this is always tense. I would love to see a run of this challenge where people manage to stay in the area without abusing fire. I don't know how that would work. Seems that combat is always going to be stressful. Maybe you could like hop in behind a door and open it and close it and try to get one at a time, but that's really risky. And whenever you have more than 3 or 4 zombies banging on a door, it tends to go down pretty quickly. I'm just keeping my bandages clean. I'm going down, calling everybody in the neighborhood. We're having a barbecue, a block party. Everybody's invited. Now I'm very cold. Even if I tried to run or fight or whatever, my hypothermia is wrecking my body. Let's see what other moodles we've got here. We've got some moderate exertion, we've got some high panic, we've got a little bit of sweatiness, we are very sick. We're hurting a little bit because of the amount of damage we've taken to our groin versus the amount of healing that we can effectively do. We're in pain, yeah, and we're still a little drunk. And not only is it super cold out here, but it's also super windy. So unfortunately the fires that I'm dragging behind me are not exactly warming my body, but fortunately I don't need any bonuses from any moodles being in a good situation right now. I just need to continue walking. That's all I need to do. So I'm walking down here in between the trailers. I'm trying specifically to bring the zombies about halfway through because I don't want that fire to spread out and burn out the trailers, but I also don't really care that much. First few tries where I did a good job of kind of kiting and pulling a lot of zombies, they unfortunately got me when I got too concerned about saving the town. So I don't really care about the town anymore. If we burn down a couple blocks, there'll be more houses elsewhere. So I'm starting to do a little bit of a loop back here. Seems like I've pulled all the zombies that I can out of this corridor. We got a couple from the road. There's one banging on this blank door over here. I think I might be pulling her over now. Yeah, there's more zombies inside. Alright, so these 2 trailers down here, if I come down later on, they'll probably still have some zombies in it, but the trailers above are probably in pretty good shape since I pulled from all around it. So now we're just mainly picking up stragglers. You can kind of tell how many zombies are behind by how quickly fire spots are being placed down. You only really get a good impression of how many are there when you kind of run away a bit and do a wide turn and catch them in your periphery. But even as we cut this corner here, you'll see the fires are cutting the corner as well, so that's kind of an indication of exactly how many are behind us. We've got some more coming from the front. Let's go down the street a little bit further and pull some more in. The street is burning, but it should not be burning this much. I really don't know how Indie Stone intends to redo the fire mechanics. And once I feel like I've pulled pretty much all the zombies I can, I think we're going to go west for a while here and pull a bit to the left as well. As soon as I think that I've pulled all I can, I start trying to manage the flaming horde. I start trying to circle it, get them clumped together, and then we go back down the driveway that we started out in. Since that area's been all nice and yelled out and there's no zombies back there, we're going to walk in circles for a bit and wait for these guys to drop. Yeah, I think I see those guys in the woods there, and I feel like that's about as far west as I want to go here. Those are the only other guys I want to tag. So now we're starting to see exactly how many are following behind us. I'm coming down to the south because I want to pull all these zombies into this cluster behind me. So if I kind of like head towards them, that would be the fastest way of doing that. but I would also have to run and dip and dodge between them, and that's not really what I'm into right now with all these issues that we're having. Otherwise, we want to preserve as much exertion as possible in case we have to run, in case there's an emergency. Alright, let's get my loop back now. We're going to pull all these guys into this blob behind us. Okay, and now that we've cleared out most of the neighborhood, I'm just going to circle around a bit here, make sure that our clump is looking good. Got a few stragglers, so we're actually going to walk away again for a bit, but we'll be right back here. I find it interesting that the wire fences, their burnt sprite is a burnt wooden fence. But how else are you going to indicate that that's a burnt piece of fence? Can't really do much with burnt wire. Make it darker, make it white, I don't know. Snap it in a couple sections. Alright, and if we're looking to the right here, if we're clear, which looks like we more or less are, we might be going down this road now. Nope, not yet, but you can see I'm trying to hang out here. Got myself a little bit of distance with a short jog. You can see the whole neighborhood's on fire. There's going to be a lot of houses and trailer parks and stuff that are burnt by the time I get out. So using fire in this way is kind of a move of desperation. But this scenario starts out as the pinnacle of desperation. So normally I would do this if I was trying to get into a part of town that's horribly, horribly infested. Deep, deep downtown. Doing something like this, wandering around yelling, keeping people on fire, can be a good way to clear the block, just to give you just enough time to loot what you need from whatever location you've gotten yourself to. Some people do this with a car. They like to put a campfire down and honk the horn, get one lit up, and then just slowly drag all the zombies out of town, honking the horn, stuff like that. It's a little easier to control on your feet, but it's also obviously a little more nerve-wracking. I think it's actually harder in the car in terms of trying to make sure that they're all lit up. I feel like you do pull a bunch in the car, but you might lose them just as quickly. I think 15 miles per hour is kind of like a nice cruise speed to go just a little bit faster than them, but not too fast. Right, I'm really feeling like we're probably going to head down this street pretty soon. I just want to make sure they're nice and clumped up first. And we still have a couple more coming. I never had issues climbing through trees. That was an accident, but I never had issues with it. I think that you go invisible the moment you touch through the tree, and then the zombie has to basically enter the same tile you're on to be able to attack you. So even though it slows you down a lot, it doesn't really change the mechanics of how this works, at least not in my experience. Maybe if you had to walk through 2 or 3 trees in a row, that might be different, but usually I'm doing a jog at that point because I'm intentionally trying to lose zombies. Alright, I really feel like I've gotten every single one that we're going to get. I think we're not going to be watching this much longer. You can see from all these ash piles on the ground how many have fallen and burnt up to this point. I'm circling this horde pretty well. They're pretty tight and clumped, so I think we're going to head down here soon. Yep, here we go. So we are now taking these bad boys home, or at least back to where we spawned from. Because when these zombies go down in that area, we should be clear for a minute, even if we're coughing, sneezing, and yelling. And you can see the on the hypothermia moodle, I got 3 green arrows. That never goes away. It never downgrades itself. I can only presume it's from my brisk walking or from standing so close to some fires, but it doesn't come up until I've been walking for a while, or until I'm very hypothermic, so I don't know. Maybe we've been getting benefit from this fire all along, but just not enough. Who knows? Alright, I'm just pulling this circle here, like, really we just want this horde behind us to fall and die, and then we can really start to loot around, look around, and take care of our needs. This is the most boring part of the run to watch, but one of the most tense parts of the run to play. Any mistake, your finger slips off a movement key, you turn too quick, and then you're eaten by a horde. And I'd say probably about 7 or 8 of my attempted runs ended that way very quickly. Because I was doing the silly stuff like doubling back and trying to run through and clump them up tighter than I should have. I played it really safe this run, and that really paid off. Seems like we only have 2 behind us now, maybe just 1, so I think I'm being a little risky here. Oh, I was going to turn around and shove her, but she fell down on her own, so I can finally get some more clothing on my body. I'm also going to want to rip some new bandages as well, because I ran out of clean ones a while ago. I have not been able to replace my dirty bandage for a while. So we're going to do that now. Alright, so my main agenda right now is to lose my cold. Not sure how successful one can really be at that while they're still dealing with hypothermia. It's going to be a while before we have the clothing that we need to fight the cold, so fighting the cold, in my mind right now, means getting inside, getting doors closed, getting some ambient room temperature, helping us out with the temperature. Let's change that real quick before we head in. But getting warm and getting fed is what I think of. So we're going to check the kitchen. Big disappointment. Everything's burned down, but we do have a rolling pin as a weapon that we can attach to our back. And we'll have a sip of water. Now, I'm replacing this bandage literally every 10 seconds, you can see, pretty much. It's already infected. It's going to be nearly impossible to keep it from getting infected, but by changing it so frequently, we're hopefully not making it any worse. I'm going to replace my ripped up clothes with good clothes. And this room is kind of nice. There's a door here that I can close. There's a closed window. I feel like it might be muffling my coughing and sneezing to some extent. So we're going to eat this dog food while we can, while we have a moment. It's very nutritious. It gives you +3 hunger, which is nice. But it makes you horribly depressed. Now, 1 book can perfectly counteract a can of dog food. So we're going to read that book now. Now there's a lot of things here coming up that we probably could manage by fast forwarding time to a great extent, but I'm a little scared of this location. I'm not 100% certain that it's cleared yet. I just know that I found a room that I seem to be safe in for a moment. Alright, we've read our book, we've lost our depression. Let's get our bandage changed again. All right, and now I'm thinking about this place as a possible place to sleep later on. So I'm gonna, well, at the moment I'm gonna close the curtain because I want to be safe, clean the rags, so that I can continue to heal myself as time goes on. Alright, now we have plenty of rags to get through the next quarter day or so. So we're going to go ahead and eat some more food and hopefully heal faster. Alright, I think I might be starting to think about whether I want to spend the night in here or not. I'm starting to think about that window, whether I want to be visible in it or not. There's no curtain to take there, so I think I'm going to have to head back to the bathroom and take that curtain instead. Seems like the fire spread back behind this house quite a ways. I think that helped me out a lot. If it hadn't, I think that there would have been more wandering zombies around back there that I would have had to deal with. Alright, now we seem to have a secure room. But I'm not tired enough to sleep with the level of pain that I have. So this is what I was talking about, where this is a time that we really could have fast forwarded in a big way. But I wanted to play it on the safe side. So you're going to watch me rest in normal time and double time for a little while as well. All things considered, in the moment, we're doing incredibly well. We're fed, we're not exhausted, we've found a place to sleep now that we're just becoming tired. Being inside is really helping with the thermal situation. Now, at this time, I might have been thinking about doing some exercise to increase my own body's heat output and to increase my temperature, but I also got scared that the exertion or the pain that might come later on from exercise could hit at a bad time while I'm in combat. So I never act on that thought to exercise. It's something I like to do when I have a safe house and a decent food stockpile. Now I'm overweight, out of shape, thick-skinned, lucky, outdoorsman to prevent the weather effects, night eye, and slow reader. That is my, oh no, this is going to be a hard run build. Lucky can be critical with finding important things in the extra loot table, and I like to be a little bit overweight. The fitness hit is something that I can recover from relatively quickly in game, and having that extra weight on me really helps if I can't string together any food for a little while. Alright, we're fully rested now, so I'm getting back up. I think we're going to check a few times whether oh, long sleeve t-shirt, that's way better than the normal t-shirt I'm wearing, so I'm going to put that on. I think that's going to improve our thermals, yep, even more. So we're getting pretty close to being able to survive the elements. I think a jacket and a hoodie or something like that is really the only thing needed left. Still can't sleep. This is the part I really could have fast forwarded through. I think we do double time here. I don't know what time of day it is. I don't have a watch or anything like that. I just know it's dark and I don't really want to be out there. Now with extreme pain, we are not going to be able to sleep until we tissue. Yeah, this is about the point where I realized that this is a point where I was frustrated that the coughing was really the main thing that's preventing me from succeeding right now. The coughing and the zombie population sizes. So I try to see if I could make a tissue. I can't. It was more a search of frustration than expecting there to be an actual recipe for it. I think we're going in double time now. We're just waiting for our fatigue to get to deep red where we can finally go to sleep. and now we check the bed, we have the option to sleep, so we're going to take it. Now my health goes up dramatically because I'm sleeping, but it's going to start dropping again as soon as we wake up. If you can survive the day, it kind of gives you a gentle reset before you end up in the frying pan again. Alright, so we're going to try to preserve as much of this morning health as we can, but we're not going to have it for long. That's when I noticed that the Nasty Cold is not the tired icon. But I am still waiting for morning regardless. And I think this is another period where we could have been fast forwarding. You can see the health is slowly dropping. There's nothing we can do about that. Alright, so I opened the door there so I can get a glance at the window across the hall. I want to know when morning is coming. But I feel like I'm also kind of situated in a place where I wouldn't be spotted necessarily. And they were going up to 3 times speed fast forward. Alright, I imagine it's about 5 a.m. in-game at this point. We're starting to see the sky start to lighten up a bit. But my next main concern is going to be getting some food. Because I believe we've eaten all of our food at this point. Now I want to be sneaky right now because even though I'm pulling zombies into my vicinity with this coughing and sneezing, I may not necessarily be targeted by them. So if I can give myself a second to kind of get out of their space. Now I'm looking in here to see if I can find some keys. Obviously the engine is screwed, the gas is screwed, the battery is screwed, so I very quickly give up on that. I use some matches and cigarettes I find to have a smoke real quick. And let's check the trunk since it wasn't locked according to the dash. Toilet paper. Now I did not know that this actually works exactly like tissue paper, so I equipped it as secondary. This is the first incredibly lucky find to have found in this run. This toilet paper gives me what I need to get into this house without pulling zombies everywhere from the left and right of this house. Mainly concerned about directly to the right of us. I know there's some zombies over there. So we're never gonna stop needing bandages. Let's get those. And now I can hop in here and see if I can find any additional food. Obviously I'm looking for healing stuff along the way. Suture needle and thread, or any needle and thread would allow us to take care of this deep wound in our groin, and that's kind of the last thing that we expect to take care of in this run. Now I just noticed here that my toilet paper is severely diminished, so that's going to run out really quickly. It didn't give me as much benefit as I had hoped for. Toilet paper may not have been as clutch as I had expected in getting into this house, but there's not really much else in here that's worth checking out, so I think I'm about to leave this place, yep, and probably head over to this house on the left that's already open. And hopefully we'll find some food in here. And nothing. So I'm starting to actually get a little bit worried at this point. Because I know that the farther south we go, the more zombies we're going to attract, and my tissue just went all the way through. So I have some concerns now about whether or not I'm going to be able to protect and feed myself. I do hear some kind of gentle banging. Don't know where it is. Oh, and we pulled 2 fiery dudes. I think in my mind I was halfway preparing myself to take them back to the roundabout and walk around for a minute until they went down, but I'm actually in pretty good shape right now. I'm not as fatigued or weak or damaged as I otherwise could be, but we're gently heading there. Alright, and it looks like we found that banging noise. So I'm going to hop in here and see if I can take care of her. Now I immediately see 3. 2 of them are in the room with me, 1 is in the next room. 2 of the 3 are distracted. Actually, all 3, I should say, were distracted. So now I can move on to this one. I'm feeling pretty confident that that door is going to hold at the end of the hallway. Look how fast those swings are. I'm in great shape for having just woken up. I'm pushing quickly. That would have been a bite if I was very exhausted just now. Alright, now I'm getting pretty excited. We're finding more denim clothing. We're finding more clothing with scratch and bite protection. We're just finding more layers in general. Like you can see, I don't have a I'm cold at all moodle on the right. So shortly, I think my cold is about to be downgraded from coughing and all that stuff to just an occasional sneeze, which gets me excited, but a little bit ahead of time. Yeah, I think it just got downgraded a little bit there. Too excited, too far ahead of time, I should say. Now this is actually kind of a nice spot to be because you can see on the other side of the window there's a tree there. So it's almost like there isn't a window there at all. A zombie would have to crawl right between that tree and where I am in order to see me. Now we've got some canned foods. Thank God. That's going to keep us alive for the rest of the day. We got a second rolling pin in case our first one breaks. And an empty kettle that we're going to fill immediately. That's going to be our drinking water. And tons of food. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Everything's turning up Millhouse. So you can see I'm not as sick at all anymore. I'm actually starting to do quite well. But I am seeing some flaming zombies across the way through the door. So I'm going to chill here for a second and see what happens. Really considering drinking the beer for its nutritional benefits. I'm kind of waiting for all those flaming zombies to drop. More than anything, I just don't really want to be seen. Yeah, I'm getting really excited that that sickness is getting downgraded since the cold is the #1 thing preventing me from stealthing. And not being able to stealth is one thing that's been killing me. So I'm going to eat some more of this food. I think that if I get my stomach more full, that I will get healthier faster. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's what I'm engaging with. Now, I'm starting to get cold again. I don't entirely understand why. Maybe it's because of my lack of activity. But here I drink a beer, I feel very confident, and my sickness moodle starts dropping fast again. So this is interesting on rewatch because I thought that maybe if I just stayed in the bathroom a little bit longer, I would have gotten rid of the cold. But I see now that a lot of the fact that I'd gotten rid of the cold had to do with exertion. Now there's a zombie burning on the left side of this trailer. I'm not sure if you can see that. There's one fire next to it. I think that's got me concerned. I want to be aware of what's going on out there. I don't want to be here if the trailer catches fire. Now that's not really a threat I need to worry about. That fire just put itself out, but still. And a sewing kit. Now this is the second big piece of luck, and I'd say the biggest piece of luck that I'd found. I don't think that it's very likely that you would get everything that you need in such a small space like this. I feel like in a lot of runs you might be hanging out with this wound in your leg a heck of a lot longer. But in this sewing kit we've got some needle and thread. I'm going to pull that into my inventory just in case it can help me out, and then I'm going to take off this sheet. to see whether or not I can suture up that wound with needle and thread. And gall dang it, I can stitch that wound with needle and thread. And we're going to cover it up, make it nice. Alright, now pretty much all we need to do is get rid of our sickness and get warm, and then we have completed this challenge. And we've got someone's attention, unfortunately. We did a cough. Now we have this hairband roadie ready to come visit us. I think she's about to, yep, climb through the window right there. And finally, for the first time, I find a watch. I find a choker. I'm going to put it on my neck and pretend it gives me neck protection. And I'm still ripping sheets like I'm bleeding all over the place. I don't realize for another 5 to 10 minutes that I don't need this many sheets at all at this point. I think I was alt-tabbing here to tell someone in Discord how my run was going really well. And about how you can use normal tailoring needle and thread in order to suture a deep wound. I imagine I'll be coming back in another 15 to 20 seconds here at most. Yep, there I am. Or there the cursor was. This is the point in my mind that I had considered this run won. The only issue was I still had to get rid of this cold. But I have plenty of food, I've got water, I can make it through the night. I think we're gonna head back to the first house that we were in, the one with the safe bedroom. At this point, I think I'm starting to realize that I have enough ripped sheets. Any additional clothing I'm glad to take, obviously. I'm going to replace our denim shorts with baggy jeans. That's going to help us out a lot. And looks like our temperature is improving once again. And it's starting to go down a bit, so yeah, I need to get in that bedroom if I want to lose these final moodles. Oh, and we got some zombos. Only 3, and I am in relatively good shape, and I've got decent weapons, so we're going to actually fight them for once. I'm going to check down the way, make sure there's nothing behind me that's going to ambush me. We're still good, so I'm going to keep on fighting these guys. See me respecting that fire, but trying to take care of that guy. Now I'm starting to move into my other old habits of just taking socks, but I'm still in this strong habit of having to rip a lot of bandages, even though I'm not really in danger anymore. I'm wasting a lot of time doing that, to be honest. I think here we're trying to scavenge some clothing, trying to get even more warm. Now, the lucky thing about some of these burning zombies is that sometimes the fire falls on a different tile than where the corpse does, and their body does not burn up even though it should. So there is a little bit of loot that we can harvest from this killing field. We just got to make sure it's clear first of zombies. There's obviously some stragglers over to the left that are occasionally being pulled by our coughing and sneezing. I think a bandana is pretty cool. I put it on my head. I don't realize yet that I can stick it on my face. And I'm standing on this body in order to prevent him from getting up, but I am a little nervous about that fire. It's very hard to, yeah, that fire's getting close to me. It would have been so tragic if I had caught on fire right then and there and ended the run so close. But we're still doing good. Just dealing with stragglers who are being pulled by the sickness. Alright, and I think that's that. I think I can head over and start stealing clothing again. Now, she's got a hoodie. I want that before her body burns. I'm going to steal that real quick. And I'm going to wear that hoodie. Alright, so this is the first time, I think, that we actually are good on thermals. Now, I think an additional jacket would be even better, but at this point we're not seeing any cold moodles, despite the fact that we're outside in 35-degree weather. So this is really where the run ends, just getting these clothes on and staying warm. Alright, we're tired, we're sick, but we're not having any pain, which means we can sleep right away. So, yep, there we go. Our tired's dropping off. Now that we're warm, our sick's dropping off. That is 0 moodles. We have successfully completed this challenge. I think you're going to see me fiddle around and just kind of goof off around for a couple more minutes, but mainly because I didn't make the decision to end the video until I do one more run outside and come back. But at this point, the challenge is clear. I'm just going to let the film ride. I just want to give a big thanks to Nurse and Ambiguous Amphibian for creating really, really good Project Zomboid videos on YouTube. If you liked this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. And maybe in the future, we will put up some more content. So I'm going to let this play out. Thanks for watching.